and welcome. We'd like to start with verses 1 and 4 of How Can I Keep From Singing?
Why do I need
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my privilege to welcome you all to this very special and celebratory moment. I'm just so delighted that Anna, David, you're here. We're celebrating someone that has meant and made an enormous difference to many very special people to Shenandoah Conservatory. As I was just reminded when I said I hadn't had the privilege of really getting to know Jackson Sheats, the immediate response, and it's a response that's always been the same, well, you wouldn't have forgotten it, had you? The conservatory is blessed with outsized personalities. We don't have many accountants here. These are colorful, robust people who make huge impacts on students' lives. And Jackson Sheats, from all accounts, was all of that. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with a faculty member about Jackson Sheats without hearing yet an additional story. I'm delighted that you're here, that you've taken time, that we have an opportunity to celebrate someone who came to mean so much to this conservatory, and not only did great work with students, but who has work that continues through those very same students. How many of you did study with Jackson Sheats here? Yeah, a number. And that work just continues. So again, thank you. I'm so grateful that this artist, this thoughtful man, this father, and this friend to so many was part of our lives, our work here at this conservatory. And I'm glad we have a chance today to celebrate him. Thank you, Byron, Amy, Michael, and everyone for your work in helping to create this event.
jedoch die Fakultät, die was davon versteht, schickt Unanimität, nicht immer hin und her, vom Prüfungskommissär, Prüfungskommissär. Ein Prüfen bin ich bitterig, das Schöne keiner sehe ich, doch wer der Protektionen hat, der Kandidat, das Schwein ist weit, das trägt was ein. Ein Prüfen bin ich bitterig, das Schöne keiner sehe ich, doch wer der Protektionen hat, der Kandidat, das Schwein ist weit, das trägt was ein. Heute müssen wir uns klug benehmen, diplomatisch allen uns bequemen. Mögen wir das meinen Protégé, ja, 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 wir der Kandidat gleich am Klo, ja, 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 sollte er achtungskundig sich zeigen, werden wir zu jeder Dummheit schweigen, wenn es hier vielleicht schmiegsam sein. Das trägt was ein, das trägt was ein. Herr Kollege, was meinen Sie? Nur ein Federstrich, Hofrat Sie und ich. Herr Kollege, was glauben Sie? Vor der Hand, Sie das Mensch, Schar. Herr Kollege, was meinen Sie? Nur ein Federstrich, Hofrat Sie und ich. Herr Kollege, was glauben Sie? Von der Hand, Sie das Mensch, ich bin der Protekant, man sieht mir gar nicht an, jedoch die Fakultät, die was davon versteht, schickt Unanimität, mit ihm hin und her, als Prüfungskommissär, ein Prüfen bin ich bitterig, das Schöne keiner sehe ich, doch wer der Protektionen hat, der Kandidat, das Schwein ist weit, das trägt was ein. Ein Prüfen bin ich bitterig, das Schöne keiner sehe ich, doch wer der Protektionen hat, der Kandidat, das Schwein ist weit, das trägt was ein. Schickt man immer hin und her, mich als Prüfungskommissär, schickt man immer hin und her, als Kommissär, nur hin und her, hin und her und hin und her.
Moving up here, staying here.
The next musical number is a four-part arrangement by the choral conductor Robert Page of Schubert's Antimusik. Please join us. This can be in the round if you feel so moved. Choose the part that best suits. And join us.
Street.
Jackson was not only an amazing planner, but he was also a man of letters, literary editor, very eloquent in his speech. I asked Anna if there was a particular poem that came to mind, and she mentioned The Road Not Taken of Robert Frost. And I took the liberty to add one of my personal favorites of Robert Frost as well, which I think certainly speaks to the indomitable spirit of singers and teachers and any creative soul. So, 2 poems by Robert Frost. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. On a tree falling across the road to hear us talk. The tree the tempest with a crash of wood throws down in front of us is not to bar our passage to our journey's end for good, but just to ask us who we think we are, insisting always on our own way so. She likes to halt us in our runner tracks and make us get down in a foot of snow, debating then what to do without an axe. And yet she knows obstruction is in vain. We will not be put off the final goal. We have it hidden in us to attain. Not though we have to seize the earth by the pole and, tired of aimless circling in one place, steer straight off after something into space. Thank you so much for braving what I was afraid was going to be a really dramatic weather day. But anyway, some rain. I know that there are many people with us in the room and others with us in spirit, alums who could not come, who are certainly thinking of us at this moment. I'd also like to thank our keyboard artists. I didn't know who was playing what when the program went to the printer, so I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Sue Marston-Boyd, Professor Emerita of Piano, Dr. Stephen Cooksey's over here, Professor Emerita of Organ, Robert Teamy, our vocal coach, and of course our own Dr. Keating, massing the troops. I think two more details and then a couple of remarks. The voice division will be placing a brick out in front of OBT. We'll be purchasing a memorial brick bearing Jackson's name, and so that anyone crossing that sidewalk to come to see an opera at Shenandoah will be able to add his name to the many names out there, people that we remember fondly for a myriad of reasons. The other piece is the Jackson Sheats Scholarship. And there is information in your, it does still exist. We want to reinvigorate that fund, so there is information in your program should you wish to make a donation to that. But it is still a healthy and vigorous fund, and we want to move forward, and with the family we'll talk more about how that's most meaningful. I think it's very telling that there are so many people in the room who never knew Jackson. If you're a voice student here, current voice student, raise your hand. Right? If you're a freshman and you've just gotten here. So as I was thinking about teaching and what we do as teachers and performers and how we absorb what's been given to us so generously, but we're just the conduit. It's the next, I thought it was wonderful that Avery and Ben sang. Ben is Michael's student and Avery is my student, and they're certainly, you didn't know Jackson, but believe me, you know Jackson. His values, his pedagogy, so it's kind of a never-ending passing on of wisdom and approach and just the little stories. Jackson and I were talking one day during a lesson, and we brought up Todd Duncan. Todd Duncan was a famous teacher and baritone in the DC area, and his students used to call his stuff, they called it the Duncan junk. They all called it the Duncan junk, and Jackson said, well, mine should be the Jackson Jazz. So the Jackson Jazz, which certainly several of us in this room have been fortunate enough to absorb, and we pass on. It comes through us. Of course it's changed. That's a natural evolution of pedagogy. It comes through my filter and Mr. Forrest and Dr. Sposatos and others who have been so fortunate to work with the man and learn from the man. So I would love to close today. We're doing the final ensemble from Candide, Make Our Garden Grow. And so I thank you so much for being here. We have goodies ready, so I would love for us to just spend some time chatting, meeting people that we don't know, and sharing any stories. It is the afternoon, so. But yes, a man with a thirst for life and a rock-solid pedagogy. I can still hear that voice in my head. I never sound like it, but I want my students to. So if we could, it's so wonderful to have Ilsa and Anna and David and your families with us today. So if we could sing the bird stuff.
Anybody else?
Oh